Dear friends, good morning. Today, 2nd October, the Jayanti of two great leaders of the country, Mahatma Gandhi ji and Lal Bahadur Shastri ji. Tribute to both of them. And this week is an auspicious week, particularly in North India. Uh, the Navratris are on, so happy Navratri to everybody. Now, it is my proud privilege to welcome you on behalf of Professor Bram Singh Horticulture Foundation, BSHF, a not-for-profit organization, and my own behalf to this 5H webinar series, talk number 12. BSHF is thankful to NIPA, New India Publishing Agency, New Delhi, for sponsoring this webinar series. I'm happy to welcome co-organizers Dr. Pritam Kalia, ICR Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Awardee, former head Division Vegetable Science and coordinator School of Horticultural Sciences, ICR IRI New Delhi, and Dr. Shalendra Rajan, former director ICR Central Institute of Subtropical Horticulture, Lucknow. Friends, today the webinar is on Changing Trends, Traditional Banana for Export by Dr. Mrs. Uma Subaraya, Director, ICR, National Research Center, Banana, Trichy. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Very much.
No problem, no? Anyway.
No problem.
Oh, okay. She would formally be introduced by Dr. Pritam Kalia. Agricultural and Processed Food Product Export and Development Agency, APIDA, what we call, promotes exports of agriculture and processed food products by helping the exporters under various components of its scheme, such as infrastructure development, quality development, market development, and whatnot. Today's talk has got involvement of APIDA, that is why the mention about the APIDA. APIDA and ICAR NRC Banana developed protocols, the process of exporting quality Nandran traditional banana to Dubai by sea. That is important, by sea, resulting in substantial saving in transportation cost. Banana from, in the same way, from UP, Lakhimpur, exported to Iran by APIDA. And countries which are potential importer of banana in this way are UAE, Bahrain, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Iran, and others. Uh, the banana, I think, is making tremendous progress in the country. And in the state of Gujarat, some Panitha village having three, four village around it. I think the um, landmark in the production of banana. These people are taking three crops in 26 months. Very important one. Three crops in 26 months. Wonderful. Anyway, likewise, Jalgaon area is using the drip irrigation, and they made the banana production uh, possible, not only possible but remunerative in this area. Another development in banana industry, you people know it, but let me just remind you the tissue culture technique and the another technique which Dr. Oma perhaps may talk about, the apical dominance removal from the natural suckers. Then the another technology, drip irrigation, which I made a mention about the Jalgaon. And the next one is the bagging of banana bunch to have the better quality and save them from a number of external factors. Anyway, Dr. Uma will be enlightening us about this topic and associated other topics with banana. Uh, Questions, if any, can be raised in chat box, which will be answered after the talk. Now I request my colleague, Dr. Pritam Kaliaji, to formally introduce Dr. Uma.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. Most respected Professor Brahm Singh ji, founder of BSHF, Dr. Shailendra Rajan ji, co-organizer of this webinar series, and today's speaker, none else than Dr. Uma Subaraya, who will be speaking on changing trends in traditional banana for export. Dr. Uma, who is director of National Research Center for Banana and has more than 30 years of expertise on working on banana. And as far as I know, we met in 2001 when we had one training together in Dadan NRCPV. And thereafter, have seen that Dr. Uma is going up in the ladder on uh, as a research coordinator, and a research administrator in a very fast track and very efficiently. And Dr. Oma has been concentrating on conservation of traditional bananas, in vitro conservation, and cryo banking. Her high throughput tissue culture technologies has been appreciated globally, and she has filed patent also. She is leading a project on biofortified bananas with iron and vitamin A to combat deficiencies or malnutrition. This is one of the ambitious projects of DBT and PMO. Dr. Uma led her team for developing a low-cost sea protocol for export of Cavendish and traditional bananas, which would keep bananas green even after 40 days of harvest. She served as a consultant to FAO for 3 years, and her team, as director, led institute to the prestigious Sardar Patel Outstanding ICR Institute Award in 2021. She is the recipient of three international awards like Pisang Raja of Biodiversity International, and many national awards like Punjab Rao Deshmukh Best Women Agriculture Scientist Award of ICR, Dr. M.H. Gowda, Mary Gowda National Endowment Award, Kalaya Krishnamurthy Award for the best research she carried out in agriculture. These awards were from US Bangalore, and also she had earned Dr. Prem Dureja Endowment Award of NAS. Dr. Uma is presently the chair of Asia Pacific Network on Banana and a member of the World Banana Forum, and she has been elected as the chair of Banana Network for Pacific Asia, and also as a representative in Musa Net Expert Committee. And she has authored 140 research papers, guided 6 PhD students, and post uh, uh, 4 postdocs. So, with very impressive biodata of Dr. Oma, I invite her to take the floor of his talk, Traditional Bananas for Export. Dr. Uma, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kalia sir. First of all, remembering our greatest leaders on this day on October 2nd, Gandhiji and Shastriji, and also wishing all the colleagues who are there in the audience a Shubha Saptami on this occasion. And my namaskar and vanakkam to Dr. Brahma Singh sir, Dr. Pritam Kalia, and Dr. Shailendra Rajan, who have been very, very enthusiastic and doing this kind of human service, bringing out the horticulture studies. Good morning to all of you. Today, I think I will go to the presentation. This is a topic we thought we should look at it, changing trends. Traditional bananas for export. Banana means for the whole world and even for most of the Indian states, banana means it's simply grinding. People forget to think anything beyond grinding. At NRC Banana, as a part of ICR, we have been talking to people and bringing a sensitization to the global level that anything, one variety, monopoly of this kind of single varieties should be challenged, and there should be the diversification either for domestic market or for the international. And the question of export comes. India, we never thought about export in the last couple of decades, but only in the last 6 7 years, export has started. And what we're exporting, we have been exporting only the grandine banana, which the whole world is talking about. We this talk is trying to bring in sensitize people what is beyond grinding. So these are the traditional bananas which can find a place in the export. Uh, and how this can be achieved is I'm trying to give in next 1 hour or so, um, compile some information and we'll talk about it and interact later. So I start with this slide because man is a civilized animal. Last several billions and millions and billions of years or during the evolution, animals have remained the same. Um, Elephant eating only vegetarian food, grass and leaves, and lion and others they are only they are uh, hunting and eating. What only man has evolved over years. His taste and search for better foods has been a continuous process. So, in the whole process, whether we get in our place, in the place where we live, we always try to access from wherever it is available. The globalization has made it really possible. So, also the exports and also the imports. In this picture, banana comes into the view because it has been very, very highly revered fruit crop, and India is one of the major center of its origin with lot of diversity to look around. When we see the production scenario, we have been dominating the world with almost 0.91 million hectares and with 31 million tons with an average productivity of 35 um, tons per hectare, metric tons per hectare. Followed by China, they're all one third. And if you see at the same time, in terms of metric tons, I tried to give a comparison where you can see where India stays, followed by China. So we are still the giants growing large quantities of banana, 30 million tons, and most of it being consumed domestically. If you look at the export scenario, what I was talking about in for the last couple of months, last couple of years, we produced approximately 31 million tons, I will say, and export quantity is approximately 2 lakh tons, metric tons, and export value is approximately 820 crores, which it is only contributing to 0.3% of the total production what we are following, what we have. So it's a very pathetic situation. We talk about doubling of farmers' income and all that. In that situation, export is a good avenue where doubling of farmers can be a reality. So if you see the world export and import, most of it's Latin American countries they dominate, and Asia, if you see over the years, it has grown from 2 to 4.5% of bananas being produced is being exported. That means Asian market for export is growing slowly, and these are also import from the countries. You have you from the United States are the major area where they import bananas. Some of the top exporters, if you see at the global level, at this level, you can see the Ecuador with 24%, followed by Costa Rica, Philippines, Colombia, Guatemala, and these are all very small proportion. Belgium, you may be wondering, but in some places, Belgium based some islands in either in the Caribbean or somewhere, They grow bananas and export. That's why they come into the picture. It's not that Belgium per se they grow banana and export it. So here also some value, lot of statistics. So I will not go into detail. You can have a look at it. I'll take a screenshot and go through it. So who are our top exporters or importers in other way? That means the whole business is being dominated by people like Del Monte, Dole, Chiquita. Then you have Sweet Baby Bananas, Red Sweet, and Fifes. These are the major giants. They are real giants. You will understand this because the whole market is being maneuvered or being manipulated by these people, uh, mostly to see that the competition is somehow brought down by the new entries. So this is what people have done. This is called, in a way, people call it as banana mafia in a lighter sense. I don't really say that, but still, it is the experience of people. These are the real giants. So over these people, if you want to compete, you have to have a very strong background support. Do we have at this level? No. Right now, our policies are not strong, our programs are not very strong, our farmers, I mean, we don't have a cooperative system like working, we don't have strong FPOs. So, with all these no status, I would rather say our opinion could be why to compete with these people. Let us look for our strength and see how best we can jump into the export market with our strength. What is our strength? Diversity is the strength. And our own diaspora or our own people who are settled in different countries are quite large numbers. And these are our strength. And our export can reach initially to these people. And with that exposure, you can broaden the spectrum of your end users. And all these top exporters, they're talking about only one variety, that is grand. Only grand. And a little bit is also happening for plantains from Latin American countries, but otherwise not a very big amount. The rest of the bananas are only granulates. So in India, I just wanted to give you the different areas and states. You don't have to bother much. All these states, you have what do you say, traditionally banana growing states. You have new states like Uttar Pradesh, which are shifting from sugarcane to banana, and Kerala is growing it on a large scale because of the excellent government policies. And in some of the northeastern states like Meghalaya and Assam, they are also going into commercial production. This is making it banana production to shoot up in a big level. And what is our traditional wealth? Traditional wealth and right, everywhere you must have heard me talking about each state has its unique varieties. And these unique varieties have to be somehow sensitized among the people and see that excellent package of practices are defined for these things so that if at all you talk about export, a complete set of operations have to be identified. And this is also becoming the entry of traditional bananas into the export market is also becoming. Rather, I would talk about domestic market. Just an example, I in the title, if I said roll of diseases, I would rather say diseases like fusarium, either it is race 1 or it is TR, tropical race 4. They have changed the complete varietal scenario in the country. For example, in Tamil Nadu, Theni, which was supposed to be the biggest banana basket of Tamil Nadu, because of race 1 affecting the grand name, people have shifted to red banana and plantain. These are highly far-fetching, highly priced varieties, nutritionally rich, therapeutically well known. So, in a way, disease, though it has its own negative aspects, in a small way, it has changed the production system of banana in the country. So, red banana, now it is, earlier it was being sold for rupees 15 or 20 per fruit. Now, everyone can access the fruit even for rupees 5 on the roadside shops. So, and plantains. Of course, plantains have been the highest source of vitamin A containing variety, and its access either not necessarily in terms of fruits or value added product is more into the what I say value addition. Either you make it in the form of powder or grits. It is becoming more and more popular. So, what is the scope for banana export? Uh, More area in non-traditional zones. 20% of the world output is from India. But uh, in spite of that, we have seen increased export volume by 47% due to further expansion in the harvested area of the trended varieties. Another important factor which has also played a key role is the low price of Indian bananas, which has been sold reportedly 50% of the cost. Still, it was beneficial for the person who imported it from India. This is they costed less than the bananas either from both from Philippines and also from Ecuador, especially even in Dubai auction market, which people have witnessed in the last 1 or 2 years. And these are the countries where we export, and um, maximum it goes to say UAE, Oman, and Saudi Arabia, and all these other small countries. They are very close to us. These are officially documented exports. And how are we sending? One is Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust in Mumbai. We have Cochin Airport, Trivandrum Airport, Calicut Airport, and Tuticorin by sea. Cochin also, seaport is also working towards banana export. It does both by air and also by export. These are our major ports, our airports, facilitating the banana export with necessary logistics around. What is advantage India? It's a location and the sea routes available. Before that, I think in the introduction, Dr. Brahma Singh said NRCP has developed a sea protocol which can keep the bananas fresh for a period of 60 days during the transit. So this has already been tested for Nendran, for red banana, for Yelaki, or it is called Nepuva. For all, Grandin, of course, well established, almost established for 4 or 5 different varieties. Of course, in static trials, we have established this to 3 more varieties, traditional varieties, which we will definitely take into the dynamic trials. So the proximity and also the sea roads available makes it very easier for the people to access. And most of the states where banana has been taken on a larger scale, either Andhra Pradesh and Gujarat, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, they have one or the other seaports very close to them with having access, and also the airports. The proximity for the ports and seaports is available, and that's it. That makes it easy, amenable for export either through sea or through the air. And you also have the gamut of banana diversity available. So, with all this in mind, what are all the problems? The low price in the international market. As I said, that this banana mafia is very strong. It doesn't cannot be manipulated easily with a country like India with a not so strong backup. So, and poor patronage for the farmers. And yeah, we know good agriculture practices, though it has been defined, it is in the books, it has never gone to the field. And poor logistics and supply chain, which we never looked at it. We have been talking about produce. After produce, how it has to be taken care to reach the end user has given very less emphasis. And I'm happy at least now in the last 2 years, the government has given a lot of support through Ministry of Food Processing and Industries, where through ODOP, One District, One Product program, and cluster development programs. Through all these things, a lot of emphasis on infrastructure is being created, right? And the new and emerging diseases. Here comes the challenges, especially for Fusarium and Sigatoka, which hamper the quality of the fruits. If Fusarium you forget about, you will never harvest a bunch, but Sigatoka will also bring down the quality because of immature ripening. Then, existence of multiple laws and multiple authorities. The whole system goes through so many points. Either it is from the production to quality approval, then traceability, then you have online monitoring, and then IoT, and then quarantine. Everything comes into the picture for which farmer is really not prepared. And at the same time, there is no organization, either with the institute or organization, for hand holding these farmers to facilitate them to at each and every step wherever he finds the problems. And lack of insufficient capital and poor overhead charges. I mean, insufficient capital. I would say here for either at the pack houses or the cold storages or the logistics in the port and seaport and the airports. And overhead charges, especially for rope conveyors, and especially the charges for the label claim, for the chemicals what is used for the banana production, and poor publicity. We never say what is with us, and we have been never taught to be more vocal. Neither farmers nor the scientists have been never taught to be more vocal. So these are some of the problems which I thought I have pointed it out, but there may be many more which I'll be discussing. How a banana supply chain works. I know it is just for your information. It exactly from after you harvest, it goes to transport pack house facility, then water washing, sorting, packing, then quarantine for export and export customs clearance. After that, there is a transit. It goes by ship. Then you have under importing countries, you have uploading. They have something called bonded areas which are to be declared. Then import quarantine inspection. These are very stringent. People, any leave one little spot or a small millibug or any simple small aphid, a baby aphid can make the whole consignment to be rejected. The custom clearance is a really very stringent aspect. Then after that, you have the transport to ripening room, after ripening, sorting, packing, and it is, of course, it is the importing countries that they take care of it. Then, coming back to India, how do we respect our crop commodities? I'm just taken an example of banana. What we wear, our clothes and shoes, these are in the air-conditioned rooms, and what we eat, they are here in the very highly unhygienic conditions with poor uh, infrastructure facilities. Then, but as I said, um, we have some of the logistics coming through which are very favorable, and our good political relationships with most of the countries, and then the low production costs are important major factors which really impact the production of traditional bananas and to export. Then analyzing the sort, just few points only I have made, but there are many more points. Our strengths are banana product highest producer, and we have agroclimatic zones, year-round fruit availability, lower use of chemicals. One major advantage, what always talk about is in India, we don't spray insecticides like in Latin American countries or other American countries. Every week they spray in order to manage the cigatocalypse spot disease, but we don't use. We say we say limited, very limited. Hardly you may go for one bud injection or one or two sprays for leaf spot management. Apart from that, the usage of chemicals is very low. So that's why you hardly find it is a safe fruit what we are producing. The MRLs will always be less than what is reported or what is expected. Then what are our weaknesses? We have, as usual, a small holding and one-time plantation. Everybody talks of there are decided seasons for planting. Everybody goes into the planting at the same season. Then there is a resulting in glut and distress sale and post-harvest losses. And to reduce that, we don't have infrastructure facility like pack house, pre-cooling units, cold storage. All these are very limited. And any new technology, you tell them its initial resistance from the farmers to adopt the technology, asking for the validation of higher income in adopting the technology. And in this whole process, there is a lack of skilled manpower. Simple, for example, if you have to harvest bananas, we talk about bananas to be transported in the form of hands rather than as bunches, which we normally see to even to harvest in the field itself, they are cut into hands. So each hand is packed in a what do you say, the trace. So that cutting into hands itself is a very highly skilled work. people for that, it's very difficult to find. And even for simple bud injection or for the injection to control the um, pseudostem weevil. So these are they are very highly skilled works, and you don't find the right people. Even to harvest, you don't find the right people. How to harvest? Even it has to be transported as a bunch. You don't get the right people. And with all these things and fruit price volatility, you know that depending on the market and what comes into the market, there is always a flexibility. And opportunities are market access to both domestic and export, domestic demand during festivals. We can serve more fresh fruits for export, and easy access to all these countries like Middle East, Southeast, and Commonwealth, CIS countries, and then China. Then, what is the threat? Do we have can we maintain the same quality like what Philippines and Ecuador they produce? It's a threat, but rather I would say it has gone from the threat component. It has already gone into our strength component. Our farmers are very uh, at least some group of farmers are very skilled, and they can produce the best quality bananas. And but this technology has to percolate among the small and medium farmers, and no control over international price, because all these giants are from a different part of the globe. We have no say. And then fusarium, both race 1 and TR4 are major threatening diseases. It's not only for India, it's for everybody else, for everybody in the world. So that is why this is also another reason why I said, like in Tamil Nadu, the whole of brand name affected by race 1, the farmers have shifted to red banana and plantains because they are resistant to fusarium race 1. They're resistant. So that's why this change has happened in the varietal diversity. Similarly, we may find something which is much more resistant to fusarium TR4 as well. Maybe different varieties, or the same some Cavendish variety similar to Grand Name, but with resistance to TR4. We may find something like that. What is required? Best management practices, integration of the farmers. At least now the FPOs have to really come into the picture. They have to work together. It cannot be fragmented anymore. Then excellent supply chain management is very essential, where infrastructure and support services are to be provided. And to reduce post-harvest losses, uninterrupted supply of quality produce to the consumer. See, whenever the international market, an importer asks, he says, every month you supply me this many tons of bananas. For that, there is a continuous supply chain should be there. And with one farmer, it is not possible. So it has to be a FPO, it has to be an integration of farmers where they have to go for staggered planting and see that every month there is some kind of harvest and it is being exported. If you don't commit to the interrupted supply, then the importer will never come back to us. And this has to be in a very planned way. Then ensure farmers remunerative prices to the farmers. Normally, whenever you do export, there is always a additional income. We have always seen that. And reducing post-harvest losses, there are package of practices available which are to be followed. And in case of the export, whatever happens, export cannot be from bunch 1 to hand 1 to hand 10. Everything cannot be exported. Maybe between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will go into export, but hand 1 and hand 7, 8, 9, 10 will not find a place in export because of the lower fruit size or whatever the standard sizes. Then what to do with those kind of fruits? So it has to be a very strategic planning ought to be there. Either how it has to be sent to the best domestic market or faraway markets in the domestic markets, and what value addition can be done to these bananas to maintain the profitability among the farmers. So these have to be well interwoven with the FPOs, where each FPO or each group is involved with one or the other activity involving banana export. Then the whole gamut of training and knowledge. Not everybody is trained, not everybody is knowledgeable. Somewhere there should be a continuous source of training should be there for the percolation of knowledge. Then supporting government policies. Not always very supportive, in spite of having so many policies. The implementation have some problems somewhere. Of course, slowly they are making it much more farmer friendly, but still it has to be little more improved. And varietal diversity, what if NRCP has tried for doing that, we have tried a lot of traditional bananas for export, and we have seen their qualities, how they can, with static trials, we have worked out how they are amenable for long distance transport and acceptability by the importing countries. Just to say, I will say some of the best examples are red banana. The USP for this is high carotenoids and the unique color and high provitamin A. All these are excellent points for red banana. The color itself is very highly ethnic and people are grabbing for this. You have Nepal. Excellent. This is sold as baby banana now in the European markets. Already it has taken over. Already it has percolated into the European market. Only thing it's commercial. It's much more sensitization is required because of some of these points. Then you have Puvan. Then you have Rastali, the silk group. Then you have plantains, though it's not an excellent bunch, I would claim, but still they are very well received by our own people staying there and also by the Latin Americans. Similarly, like Kerala, it's Latin Americans, their staple food is also plantain and it has good market in the international market. Then some of the very very unique varieties like Matti, we have a great scope to create a brand with the GI. We are almost filing for GI for this variety, and excellent variety with a lot of therapeutic values, and people are aware of it. And this is the most commercial variety in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. And the people who are staying abroad, they have a lot of they are giving. I mean, their lot of demand is coming from our own Indian diaspora staying outside, and this also they are trying to create a brand with GI tag. And Sabri is one commercial variety of Tripura, and domestic requirement itself is high, but people from Bangladesh are asking for a lot of demand coming from Southeast Asia, Nepal, and Bangladesh. So there is also a good scope of export of Sabri banana from Tripura. Then hill banana, of course, they are very unique to um, Palni Hills of Tamil Nadu, but excellent. They have GI. They already have GI tag, and they are used for specific purposes. Their USPs I have already mentioned, and people are. It has good market in Singapore, wherever more Indians are staying, Malaysia, and all these Southeast Asian countries. We have good demand. So also for Karpuravali, uh, next to red banana, Nepuvan, Karparoli is the most favored in the Southeast Asian market and also the European markets. Then Mondans, again, it is only to serve our own people staying abroad, and it goes neither from northeastern states or anywhere. It has a good scope for export. So these. I just mentioned some of the varieties, but we have which we have already tried, and we have found that there is a good potential for export. Then now looking at improving the quality of banana supply chain, how all these things are to be carried out. So increase individual growers' yield. So as I said again, cluster formation, this leads to increased productivity, and then trucks which require, I mean, with end-to-end stock. Trucks from end to end traveling, and then local communities to organize their harvest labor more efficiently. These are some of the points which definitely will go to the farming sector. And the use of correct packaging, especially handling fruits in containers from farm to the retail markets, handling operations to be more faster, especially during loading and unloading operations. Then small local packing sheds, it can be on a cluster basis, which can be developed, and then you have appropriate design of vehicles and container vans. So both the design must have enough vents, fans, and refrigerator system to dissipate whatever heat that is produced, and provide the supply of fresh air, especially for crops like banana, highly high respiring crop like banana. Then pre-cooling and cold storage facilities at the port area. As I said, both at the harvest area, then either at the seaport or at the airport, these facilities are required. Large scale, they're not like small size containers. You need huge facilities wherever, either at the port, at the seaport. Then some of the PACOS practices I have given, which is normally followed, which is also available in the website. You can also, people can look at it. What are the requirements for packing? And then some of the banana specifications which you don't find really anywhere. This is what we have developed for packaging. We call it as, if it is one banana, we call it as a finger in the international market. If they are 5 to 7, you call it as a cluster. 15 to 20, depending on the variety, you call it as a hand. And 18 to 14 hands, it is actually a bunch, approximately 200 to 400 bananas, depending on the variety. This is what is the general requirement for Class C. And then one thing we normally need, which you have forgotten, is a cushioned trolley for bunch handling. If you don't have a conveyor belt, you have a cushioned trolleys for shifting. Then most important is the traceability. So for everything, whatever you export, traceability is the basic point which an importer looks at it. That this traceability, nowadays we have at least introduced wherever we have done 3-4 operations on PPP mode. The traceability has been introduced, and it has worked very well and well appreciated, and it has added value to the bananas which are being imported. So a couple of success stories when I say, when initially we did it for Nendran, it's again on a PPP mode. Apida supported us, and with one of the Indian exporters, we tried doing the traditional variety, that is Nendran, to UAE and Dubai and other countries. So they started as a small venture, and now it has, the business has grown to 200 crores annually. So every week they send about 40-ton containers to these countries. Advantage is that they are somehow, they are called fair exports. They are linked to, they are part and parcel of the Lulu group, Luluman. So you have an excellent network. So that way, this has really, the export of plantains from India has really made a kickoff. And the next one we tried was Grand Name, basically whether to Europe, whether it can be sent or not. This is again, it was between Port of Trece in Italy and Tamil Nadu Banana Growers Federation, then Tamil Nadu Agriculture University and NRC Banana. We were the technical partners, and TNAU developed the conveyor system and those kind of logistics support. And Tamil Nadu Banana Growers Federation was the FPO which was sending bananas to Port of Trieste, and this was supported by supported by the government of Italy, by the Port of Trieste. Again, it was an excellent success. In the very beginning, the travel of over 41 days, the quality of bananas sent from India, it fetched 87% marks. So that is how it started. Now bananas are easily moving to Europe without any problem. This was using the same C protocol the NRCB developed, and here you see our own scientists flagging off at the Cochin seaport. And the next another initiative with Kerala government as a technical partner was to send Nendran bananas to Europe, especially to London. This was also a big success, and VFPCK along with the local importer did make a mark, and now the whole chain of FPOs and the farmers who produce organizations and the groups, they have involved on a larger scale, and more of export has started doing after this intervention from ICR and NRC. Then at the same time, we also had to do, banana export is not NRCB doing or farmers doing or something. No, it involves so many stakeholders, including the liners. So one such liner is Merck's liner. Merck's, along with Tamil Nadu, again, Tamil Nadu Banana Growers Federation is the best supporting group with us. Whatever we think they implement or whatever they want, NRCB implements. So Mr. Ajitan, Mr. Karupaya and his team is very cooperative with us, and we work together very nicely. So like that, with the static trial was conducted with MERS liner in Chennai, and this was again, it gave a good insight into the type of the specifications of what is required for banana export. It really gave a good idea. and the kind of um, ethylene absorbers, and the kind of pelleting you require, and the kind of sealing, the kind of traceability, and see the quantity of ethylene to be measured during the complete trial. Everything was standardized in our trial, and this really paved a path for our next trial, dynamic trial, which we could send it to London. So this is another trial which NRCB again with Tamil Nadu Federation, we did it to Austria, and they really wanted red banana to be supported, and we sent a big container of red banana, and this was distributed to all the. We have an excellent. I don't want to name it. We have a big chain of stores in Europe. Along with them, they are the actual importers. They have distributed red banana to all their retail shops, and the review was excellent, excellent, and people are looking for it. And immediately, our Banana Growers Federation got a immediate order for the whole year, like every month sending 40 tons of red banana to Europe. Unfortunately, what happened this September itself, Indian bananas have got such excellent market. They got very good price, and it was on par with export. So that is why this export could not happen. But most probably, uh, after in 2023, we plan to take it on a big scale. That means we have shown that this works. Red bananas can be reached to the end user in a more successful way. There was curiosity among the people who purchased it. In spite of its high price, people purchased it. If not as a bulk, not as a hand, at least two, three, each one of them they purchased. The feedback was excellent. The farms were filled. Feedback was excellent, and definitely there is a good market for red banana. Then, in the whole system, what is required is IoT is very, very essential, because this part we are completely ignoring. Either we have not understood or we have not bothered to exploit this. Here it performs the real-time monitoring of environmental parameters inside the cold storage and to reduce the loss. Either when it's a storage it can be, or it can be in the transit both. Here, NRCB has developed some kind of sensors which can measure the parameters, environmental parameters. At the same time, it also gives an idea about what is the ethylene emission. By that, indirectly, we will know whether ripening has started or it is still safe to continue your transit. It is domestic. Actually, this is for domestic market. And this trial is from Trichy to Mumbai, we have taken up. And during the transit, we have understood how the environmental changes happen, how the ethylene emission happens. And we have also suggested at what percentage of ethylene production the, uh, uh, the truck has to stop there itself and distribute it to the nearby local market, to speed up the process of transportation. So IoT is, as I said, it is very, very important, because these are some things which is in general required, not necessarily for banana, in general required for any other crop, which we also have to do it for banana without any fail. And here, basically, you required is supplier management, especially the market, the address system, then especially the barcoding is essential, what we are looking at it, and the delivery scheduling and routing, and vehicle tracking. These are the major things which we are trying to do it in the domestic market, basically using the trucks. There is a separate project which is coming from the UNIDO, United Nations. I think, yeah, I'm not getting the name. From UNIDO, there is a project for Tamil Nadu Banana Growers Federation, and we, as a technology partner, we are helping them to intervene in some of the problems they have encountered towards long distance transportation, sending bananas from Trichy to Delhi via trucks. This is, temperature controlled trucks. So these are some of the things which are already available. At the end of it, whatever you do, what we do is, I said, advertise yourself. You talk about yourself, what we have, what is our strength, how beneficial it is. I think this kind of talking more, advertising more has to be done from the farmer side and from the government side, which is not really happening. At least APIDA is trying to do a little bit of it on its own, either to have trade fairs, crop trade fairs, crop diversity fairs they are trying to do, but still it has to be on a very, very robust way. Then, in the whole process, what are all the government policies and schemes for supporting this? Government, we of course has developed in four major verticals. One is pre-production and production vertical. Then you have a post-harvest management. There are different components in that. Then there is a component of value addition. Then the question of logistics, marketing, and branding. The first two we are we are managed. We are quite strong enough. But where we lack is value addition, logistics, marketing, and branding. This is where our insufficiency is very much exhibited. So we have to have strong logistics, excellent marketing system and platforms, and the branding is very essential. This is where we are trying to support the farming FPOs to improve their visibility of the varieties in the international markets. And in this, one district, one product is very beneficial, especially for banana. See, there are about 12 clusters selected for cluster development. 55 potential horticulture clusters have been developed, out of which two clusters of Anantapur in Andhra Pradesh and Theni district of Tamil Nadu have been identified for cluster development program for piloting, and government agencies like APIDA, here it's not working. It is NHB, MIDH, and state governments. We are really, along with the ICR and state agriculture universities, we were working very hard to bring this the sea change in the in domestic and also in the export markets. If I talk about these programs, this will again another 1 hour detailed discussion, which I don't want to say, but I would rather say in this one district, one project and cluster development program, lot of changes are going to come through in the next 4 to 5 years. In the end, what ICR NRCB can offer, and what has been doing, what it has been doing. We have array of traditional varieties with their USPs. We have identified their USP. This is unique selling, unique. I mean, it's qualities. Then, for all these varieties which have either domestic or international markets, we have the protocol for quality planting material. We can produce disease-free planting material. Then there is a C protocol, which is only 40% of the air freight charges. You can send it anywhere, and I have already shown the logistics where India and how it is approachable to all other places. Then one stop point for all export-oriented technologies. NRCB has all these technologies, and people who are coming to us, we are giving training. And till date, more than 7-8 FPOs have taken up training, and two have successfully started their export. And training and human resource development, as I said, we have been doing it. Then our ABI and ITMU for technology transfer and handhold. It's not necessarily transferring the technology. We help them until they export, until it reaches the end user. And also in many of the collaborative projects, our own scientists, they go to the importing country and check for the quality. And any problems are there, especially for insect and disease problems and the post-harvest problems, people are there to identify and also give them the solutions. Then we also give them the technical support for international trade fairs. One such recently happened during the 9th governing body meeting in Delhi, where about 149 countries they participated. And NRCB had an excellent exhibition of more than 75 varieties, and it was very well appreciated. Then common platform for all stakeholders to meet and interact. We regularly conduct the stakeholders meet, wherein all the stakeholders, including the starting from the farmers, the exporters, the what do you say, the liners like Maersk and other liners, and you have cold storage people, then you have importers coming in, then packers, then value addition, that group. Everybody, we bring it on the same platform and we discuss the problems. We try to see how best a government can intervene and support the product. Fortunately, it's not like in some of the meetings you make your proceedings, you post it, and it is there sitting in your file forever. It's not like that. Here, whatever the proceedings they come, we normally send it to the state government and also to NHB. They take a serious note of all what the recommendations coming out of this kind of stakeholders meet, because these are the very serious people who are involved in banana export. So whatever the points coming through, definitely people are taking it seriously and trying to look at them and give some kind of interventions. So ITMU, ABE, we have a convergence to change the whole landscape. It is happening in many sectors, and export is one such sector in which NRCB is involved. So, with this, thank you so much. Um, this is what I wanted to say, but a couple of more things are there which I really don't need in this 1 hour. I am not able to complete in this 1 year, 1 hour time, but definitely in one of the next sessions we'll talk about it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, Dr. Brahm Singh and his team, uh, for this great opportunity to interact with all of you. Thank you.
Uma for excellent presentation on very important crop of the country, banana. Uh, Dr. Shailendra Rajan, just highlight the points what Dr. Uma has spoken, or if you want to add something, you are welcome.
Uh, Thank you, sir. We had a comprehensive lecture on the changing trends in the export of traditional banana. That is very important, and she has made it clear why we have to think beyond the brand name. And it was a lecture we thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was highly informative, full of great experience in various areas of the not only export but the production and the things also. So she has linked the diversity with export, which is becoming important as far as India is concerned. And then talked about the scope and destination markets and the advantages of our Indian conditions where we produce banana in different ecologies. Then how the traditional varieties can travel different parts of the world. This is important. And she has given the detail of the challenges from low price and many other factors which are impacting India's export. And she has also very well pointed out the poor publicity in this regard. Then the how traditional varieties may travel different parts of the world, she has again and again emphasized, but the challenges are also there. Different steps in the banana supply chain were mentioned, and a great short analysis, particularly specifically for the banana, was presented by her, banana export. Then she talked about the blood, and again, I think the subtropical banana that can also be important for the extending the season. Then, talking about the requirements of the boosting banana export, which requires the collective efforts from the farmers, public sector organizations, and many other uh, players. That is important. She has given description of that, and very well talked about how these varieties like red banana, due to its nutritive value, ne puvan, puvan rasthali, mati, tela, chakeli, sabri, and hill bananas are important, and they have a lot of scope for export. Then she flagged important points which are how the strengthening of the supply chain of banana in India can take place. Particularly, traceability is an issue in banana export, which has to be taken care of. And success stories, which are due to some of the efforts made by NRC Banana from Europe to Australia exports, those have been given. Uh, those have been very well presented. The role of the liners she has given that is important, particular not only in domestic the supply chain but also export, and that Tamil Nadu Banana Farmers Association, how they are important in making this all feasible. She has given details of that. IoT and supply chain, especially smart IoT developed by the RCB, some description she has given, but a lot of work has to be done in this role of ICT and its components, and the government policy supporting banana growers. Those were talked by by her, and how does NRC banana is supported by NRCP is also particularly for next. And luckily, when the first container from for Iran was stuffed from Lucknow, uh, produced as BP, I was also present there. So it is starting, and many more destinations are releasing. But I will like to mention that in subtropics, she already mentioned, the tropical rainfall is important and it is one of the critical constraints that has been taken care by technologies developed by in collaboration with CSS. And the CSSRI team led by Dr. Damodaran. One is ICR Physicon, which has very well managed the problem in many parts of the UP and Bihar, where tropical rainfall has become an alarming bottleneck. And not only in these two states, but in Northeast, this particular product, the technology which has been licensed to ICR Innovate, Agro Innovate, that has successfully worked in uh, Northeast as well as this has worked with the Sapri Khazana, which is a traditional Gharana, and suffering from the race one, it has. So, in conclusion, it was a great lecture by a learned speaker on different aspects of Banana. She has a lot of experience, particularly with the diversity and how diversity can take place in our export. That is important. And we are thankful to Dr. Uma for such a nice and illustrative talk. Thank you very much.
So
Thank
one
you,
thing
Doctor.
before I close, I just wanted to convey my thank you to the export team from NRC Banana involving Dr. Kumar, Dr. Tangavelu, Dr. Shiva, and Dr. Suresh Kumar. So these are the people who are involved in most of our export-oriented activities. And special thanks to Dr. Suresh who has collated a lot of information on this. Thank you so much.
Okay, Dr. Shailen ji, thank you so much. Dr. Kalia, would you like to add something? Because your subject she has not touched upon quality, quality part.
No. I think we have had a wonderful talk from Dr. Uma. As usual, she is very good in talking about banana. I have heard so many talks in the past as well, and she has brought banana up in the country since when she has been there at NRCB that I indicated. But just 2 3 points that traditional wealth she has highlighted in 7 states and 17 types she mentioned, which is beautiful thing. I think from that point of view, traditionally, I think there are some more areas which we need to look at and spread banana in non-traditional areas, especially in north. I see that the Shivalik hills in foothill areas of Himachal, Uttarakhand, they are beautiful areas for banana cultivation, and the new many types she has mentioned they can be explored, which can do well there. Even in Jammu is good area for banana cultivation. And from the varietal diversity point of view, also she has highlighted a lot of banana types which can be nutritionally profiled, so that we can highlight how nutritionally they are different and useful, because today people look for nutrition. And banana, she has already highlighted in other presentation that from diabetic point of view, earlier doctor used to say that no banana because it's not good for diabetic people, but she has highlighted some stages where light green and pale is the stage where it's good for diabetic people. So that's a good area to tell people, make awareness, make people aware about the stages of banana when they can be consumed for taking benefit to different people, ailing people. And so nutritionally, I think the red banana she has highlighted, which is quite good. But I think the peel is having more of anthocyanins and which can be used for extraction. I think you talked about in some presentation about that. We are already going on with that program, extraction of that, and for development of this pharmaceutical industry, nutritional industry, it would be good contributor. And then from the biotic stress point of view, that fusarium built a threat, major threat you mentioned. And you have already highlighted that some types, plantain and other bananas, they have resistance available. So identifying genes and then pyramiding them would be the new topic. Already, these programs must be going on in the institute. And I think we have had a wonderful talk from Dr. Uma, so that to educate people, more people to take banana, because banana is also talk about as a wholesome food containing various nutrients which are good for our health. So thank you very much for nice talk.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kalia. So, banana, you see, its importance can hardly be overemphasized. If you start from that school, in schools also, if you have to provide the fruit to the student, every student, I don't think any other fruit than a banana which can reach every student. And in general public also, poorest of the poor is able to enjoy the fruit, can afford
Yes.
to. That part is there. So if I start singing song of banana, I think this will be unending. The banana fruit has got so many good things, no? And it suits well to India. And luckily, India has got the diversity on that. And I'm very happy that the banana export has started. So now it's become the responsibility of the planners. Uh, I don't say politicians, but planners. They should see to it that the fruit of hard work of our scientists, farmers, and all stakeholders should be given to the world. There is a great demand of that. The world needs that banana grown in the country, and rightly it is spreading from South India to North India, and I'm sure in coming decades it will be a popular crop in North India also and in hills also. There is a, I think, Uma knows is very well that hill banana sort of thing, different culture or different genotypes are there which tolerate a temperature very well and yield very well. This and that. The nutritive value which you have highlighted, I think, require much more emphasis, and you have very, I think, lightly mentioned about that red banana, that the red pigment is there only in the peel, but it should enter the peel also. That nutrition should enter
Yes.
there. I don't know how it will be possible that woman knows it. If we can think of improving the nutritive value of the banana fruit, it will go a long way. I tell you, improving the health of the country, children and others and whatnot. Because almost everybody, I don't think anybody in the country who has not taken or who can't afford banana fruits. So this fruit is important. And ICR, yes, they are doing wonderful job. NRC particularly with the small staff, a small team, a wonderful output. And keeping in view the importance, I say this NRC should be upgraded to an institute,
Hmm.
having the satellite institute in different states with the specific see responsibilities. Say if export is to be see given emphasis, so there should be some organization to just exclusively engage into the particular topic, finding out the variety, the areas, and then the potential importers and what are the conditions and what are the so many points are there in that hiccup. They find out just to smoothen the process. On its own, it won't come. APIDA is dealing with number of things. So they are doing excellent job, despite so many things. But I think other institute also should help in that, and not many problems come up. As you have said, the traceability, that traceability part, I think has to be given priority these days. And if you have got a quality banana and you make sound yourself that our banana is the best, we have to say it. We have to do it. Nobody is going to do for us. We have to tell if our thing is best. We have to say it best. There is no harm in that. Make a lot of sound. People will come and say, "Oh, you test it here. You be satisfied with that." And then the things can go on. So I think there are a lot of scope uh, to improve the condition of all stakeholders in banana, starting from farmers to what should I say, the nation in general. There is a vast scope. And Dr. Uma, you have given a wonderful presentation. I thank you, and not only you, I thank each one of the staff, scientists, and whomsoever are there at your institute. You are really doing a wonderful job. My salute to all of that. Really a great job you people are doing. And you deserve that and keep doing the good thing. Limitations will be there, but they will be overcome. So, with these words, we thank once again Dr. Uma and her the staff there at Trichy, Dr. Shalendra, Dr. Pritam Kalia, and Shivangi. And I think something carry home points people must have taken. I need not to just elaborate that. In nutshell, I can say banana, banana. One should not forget it. Banana will give you a lot many things. With these words, thank you so much. We meet again
Thank you,
next
sir.
Sunday with different topic, and I think I'm the speaker there.
Oh, okay. Good.
Now we
Anyway,
talk.
welcome,
Now we speak
welcome
about.
to this. Till then, goodbye.
Uh,
Okay, sir.
Thank you, thank
right,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good day, sir.
Namaskar.
Thank you.
Okay.